What is going on, guys? I'm Dr. P and welcome back for another video. Now in today's video, I've got a good one. We're gonna go over in detail what could be underneath all the ice that is melting, and of course, what could be under the iceberg, and even more. We'll get into all of it in this one, so make sure you're sticking around all the way to the end. But if you could do me a favor and drop a like as well as subscribe to the channel, that'd be awesome. I want to give a shout out to some of you guys who have been supporting me as a creator on Fortnite. Just as a quick reminder, the Supporter Creator program got permanently extended, so anytime you're buying V-Bucks to purchase anything at all, make sure you use my Support a Creator code. It's Pineapplez YT, and if you send me proof of you using it in the form of a screenshot, you'll have a chance of being featured for a shout out in an upcoming video. So I came across an extremely interesting theory on Reddit, a really good post. I'll be sure to link that original post in the description below, but I want to go over this theory with you guys because it's definitely intriguing, and I don't know, I just want to get your thoughts on it. This comes from user Party Planner Ice. He says, as I went through this season's Battle Pass, I noticed on tier 77 and 78 this set of chains designed to trap an animal of some sorts, let's say a dragon, and we all know that probably at some point all or some of the ice and snow on the new area will start to melt. But how will it start? What could trigger it? To that I say, there could be a dragon trapped inside the Ice King's castle dungeon at Polar Peak, still alive and well, but dormant. Somewhere along the season, the dragon is going to wake up and begin to set itself free from the ice surrounding it by using its own breath. I'm guessing we will sense some trembling when this dragon starts to wake up, reverberating throughout the snow, causing snow slides or something to that effect. By the time the ice completely melts, the Ice King castle reveals itself, and the dragon inside it will be there waiting for us. And as you can see on the picture below in tiers 77 and 78, you can clearly see the chains he's talking about. And again, you see the reappearance of this dark llama, so I wonder if we'll find out more about that. So at first when you hear this and you think, oh okay, someone thinks there could be a dragon inside of this castle underneath Polar Peak, yeah, that's far-fetched, and yeah, it might be kind of far-fetched, but it's not completely unbelievable. I mean, the situation kind of adds up here. There are a couple of things that I want to point to. Number one, if you take a look at what the theory is suggesting the dragon is in, that is a castle, and I mean, any sort of dragon story involves a castle. I mean, that's just what they're famous for being in. They're famous for being in castle dungeons. So using that logic, it seems like there would be a place for them. Also, there's this tweet from Donald Mustard, which was actually a couple days before Season 7 started. This was just him kind of adding another layer of teasing on top of a teaser they dropped. Essentially, he just says he is waking up, and the teaser itself is just a picture of the Ice King. Now, is he referring to the Ice King when he says he is waking up, or is he referring to possibly the dormant dragon that finally has to wake up and try and fight off everyone on the Fortnite Island? Is that the plan? The crazy thing to fathom is we have no clue how big this castle is, because there's a lot of snow. That iceberg is pretty big. I mean, we don't know just how much there is to it. When this ice starts to melt, I wonder if there's going to be literally a huge dungeon, and if possible, good chance there could be a dragon in there. And let me just add more fuel to the fire, so to say. Let me show some more information on why this could be true. On the Reddit post, on the original page I got this theory from, user Ice Spawn Demons replied and said it could possibly tie into Ragnarok and Valkyrie's roles, since they were never really part of the story. Notice in Valkyrie's loading screen, she is sitting in a castle with the Frostwing dragon. Also, Frostwing's description says, awoken from an ageless slumber. There in the background of that loading screen, you can see quite clearly a dragon, an ice dragon that fits the theme of this season perfectly. Now, the reason that this is important is because Ragnarok and Valkyrie, two skins that we thought would have huge prominent roles back in the storyline of Season 5, never really had a huge storyline, implication or a huge role. So I was figuring, and everyone else has kind of come to the conclusion that back in Season 5, they were hinting at snow in Season 7, 2 seasons down the line. So maybe Season 5's, snow skins with Valkyrie and Ragnarok can still offer a lot of value in terms of hints and Easter eggs for trying to predict what might come into the game. And I think Frostwing could be very likely a dragon underneath the castle at Polar Peak. Now, and the loading screen I showed you earlier, I'll throw it back up on screen for you. The Frostwing glider, yeah, it's not nearly that big. You can see in terms of scaling, Valkyrie's body is so much smaller than that dragon's behind her. And in the game, the dragon is not nearly that big because it's a glider. I mean, I've looked at it a couple times. I don't think I'm crazy. I'm pretty sure it's not the same size. So if that's the case, is it possible that the glider is just kind of a recreation of a bigger dragon, the main thing, That would make a good bit of sense, and I could definitely see that as a big possibility. Throughout this whole thing, there seems to be a lot of mention, a lot of reference to sleeping or, in a sense, hibernating. And that's what I believe the dragon, if there is one, is doing right now. It's just been sleeping this entire time. It's been, as the theory said, dormant. Donald Mustard tweeting he is waking up, as well as the description of Frostwing the glider being awoken from an ageless slumber. I feel like everything is adding up, and that could very easily be a foreshadow to this dragon being underneath, and that would make a ton of sense. I've already gone over a lot of the ways. One thing's for sure, the second that dragon starts to breathe fire, yeah, that's probably going to help the snow melt a little bit, so I wonder if this could aid or assist in possibly adding a little bit more credibility to the theory I talked about in yesterday's video about the flood of the ice melting, there being a giant flood. There's definitely a lot more to the castle than we think, regardless of whether or not this dragon actually turns out to be underneath the castle, regardless of any of that. This castle has so much going on with it that we can't even fathom what's going on. The reason I believe this is because, well, for one, Epic Games, they love to do secrets, they love to do Easter eggs, they love to tease stuff, and try to hide things and keep it a secret for as long as they can. Unfortunately for them, though, leakers and data miners have kind of ruined that in a sense. People tend to just figure out what's going to happen way before it actually does, which is kind of unfortunate. But anyway, the main reason why I believe the castle is going to be huge, way bigger than any of us could even imagine, is because this castle has been referenced so many different times throughout the course of Fortnite's existence. I mean, if you look at some of the things they did in the game, it seems like we almost had to have expected there to be a castle at some point. A while ago, we actually got this spray. There was also this picture that they teased. There was also literally an ice castle being through the other side of the rift underneath Wailing Woods. So yeah, an ice castle was expected. We've talked about an ice castle for about a month, and sure enough, it happened. Because of how many times and how frequently it was teased, I believe that's the single reason why it's going to be huge. They're not going to have a letdown with something they know people have been expecting for a long time, and that's why I think this dragon theory is just outrageous enough to actually be something Epic Games might consider doing. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it would be fun. I think it matches up. I think it checks out in a lot of ways, and we'll just have to wait to see if this is what Epic actually decides to pull the trigger on. But regardless, thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. That is my sincerest hope. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed, and if you want to see more, turn on those post notifications, and if you can, also drop a like on the video. That's much appreciated as well. I'll catch you in the next one, and until then, take it easy, and peace out, guys.